What's up, guys? I'm back with another video. First time in a long time, but better than never, right? So I'm just doing a 2023 collection update. I've been super busy with work and just life gets in the way of everything. Whereas before, these got in the way of life. Anyways, so I've picked up a few more computers since last having videos made. So here I got a Bondi Blue iMac G3, which is in pretty decent shape. I picked this up probably 6 months ago. It's got a sticker on it that the previous guy put on. It's a pretty decent machine overall. Definitely got something going on with the flyback though. Every so often just on the screen while it's running, but could be worse. Then I got this. I think it's a 400 megahertz summer 2000s DV Indigo, which is in pretty decent shape again, other than the CRT support had a little crack. Moving on, I picked this also up sometime around 6 months ago. Also has a little issue with the flyback, I think, but overall it's actually not bad. It does work. It's just it's on for about 20 minutes and the screen just does a quick blink. Like if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And I think it's a 500 megahertz. Not entirely sure. I don't remember. Let's take a look. Yep, it's a 500. I've migrated. If you remember some of my earlier videos, you remember I had a table set up here for a while, and like my really old stuff from like 2017, 2018. And I'd be working on them here. And then if you also remember from my earlier videos, I had all of the stuff in this closet. And early 2020, right before the pandemic started, the basement down here actually flooded. And again, if you remember from earlier videos, there was, it wasn't tile, it was a wood floor. Anyway, point being, I noticed quick that we had a heavy rain, and walking on the floor you could hear it squish, so I quickly moved all the computers from down here upstairs. I actually sold a lot of them. I don't know if I've already mentioned this in a video, because I didn't really have anywhere to keep them, and I didn't want them to get damaged, and they were we're redoing the basement, right? So anyways, I got rid of a bunch, which kind of sucks, but I've been slowly buying them back. Okay, I got this. I've had this one for a pretty... Actually, I'm not sure if it's this one or there's another one up there. I'm not sure which one I've had for how long, but this is either... Yeah, I believe this is a 400 megahertz. I think they're both 400 megahertz. Yeah. And I also can't remember. One of the two has a SSD in it. Which is interesting, and it boots up like ever so slightly faster than a normal, just hard drive, so definitely not worth doing that, but it was just kind of like I was just interested on how that would turn out. Then we got this one here, which is the first iMac G3 that I ever bought. I paid $50 for it. It's a 450 megahertz, summer 2000 DV+. It's got a rebuilt DVD drive, 120 gigabyte hard drive, maxed out RAM at 1 gigabyte airport card. But again, I don't use it. But this one had really low runtime on it. So, the screen is super crisp. The outside of it is actually in quite decent shape too. Then we got this one, which I've had since 2018, 2019. Don't quite remember. Also in great shape. CRT's great. Outside's great. No issues with the screen or anything. Then we got this guy here, which I've had since 2019. I remember it was like June or July I bought it. It was actually at a garage sale. I paid $100 for it. Again, same thing. Flyback issue. Just flickers every so often when it's running. And the screen's a little dim. I've actually taken it apart and adjusted up the brightness with the knob on the outside just to get it a little bit brighter, but there's only so much that you can really do. But again, doesn't really matter. I don't use these two anyways. I don't really use any of them. I use, there's an iBook there that I use, and I use I can't remember because I haven't used it in like 6 months, but one of the 2 blueberries I use the one that does not have an SSD in it. So anyways, there's that one there. This computer is actually my brother's. I gave it to him a few years ago. I bought it at the same time that I got this. I bought a lot of 5 of them. Anyway, point being, he has moved out recently, and this machine, if you didn't know, on the earlier years, I can actually show the tray loading machines, they used this for the display connector, right here. So you can buy adapters off eBay that just convert it to VGA, and you can make it so that it just, you know, acts as a monitor. And that's what he did. So he has a NUC, and he's going to install it in there. So that's quite cool to, you know, utilize the CRT. He was going to do it with an iMac G4, but if you know anything about doing that, it's actually quite more difficult to do that on an iMac G4. So I gave him one of these for his birthday, and I think 2019 maybe. Which, I mean, good deal for me because he gave me all the, you know, like the motherboard, DVD drive, etc. He kept the cover, or the CD drive, I mean. So yeah. Then moving on, this is kind of interesting. I don't know if I've ever showed it on the channel before, and mind all the stuffed animals everywhere. An Advil. This is a, I've had this for, again, quite a long time. I think I've had it since 2018. It's a iMac that I took the CRT out of because, I mean, it's a junk, no offense, but iMacs are pretty crap around here. Like, they were all used in schools, and all of the CRTs are junk. If you're able to find one that works, then it was probably owned by someone who actually just bought it and used it at their house for some reason. Those ones are good. This one was not. So I took it all apart, and just put like an LCD in it. So like, it's hollow. There's nothing in here other than a screen. So I just use that as a secondary monitor, which is kind of cool. But like, if you look, there's just nothing in there. And again, I'm sure that, you know, some of the early viewers have seen it was originally, I think, a Snow iMac G3 that it had died. So then I more or less parted it out, and I put a computer inside of it with an LCD screen, but it doesn't work as well with iMac G3s because, you know, their screens are curved, right? Whereas the iMac, it's a flat surface, so it works pretty well with iMacs, not so much on iMac G3s. Anyways, I still have that computer. Now it's a graphite because I think, I don't know, at some point I had like 4 graphites or 3 graphites and 0 Snows. So I took the Snow case, put it on the graphite, put the 700 megahertz board back in it, turned it back into a 700 megahertz Snow. Anyways, I still have that computer, but, you know, it's more or less junk. Like, it's an AMD Athlon, I think, with, you know, DDR2. So realistically, I need to get that crap out of there and put like a NUC in it so that, you know, it has some decent specs. Then I got a Mac Pro that I use as just my, you know, everyday computer. It's a 2009. Yeah, it's pretty good. It does what I need it to do. So, okay, coming up over here. This is cool. I don't even remember when I got this, if I'm being honest. Just recently I started actually, you know, pulling all these back out because I am now, you know, living down in the basement, and I don't remember when I got this. It can't be that long ago, but I found computers that I forgot that I've had because I've, you know, just been sitting in my closet for so many years. So anyways, I got this. It's a 400 megahertz, summer 2000. The same with this, which is a Ruby. Then I got this Blueberry, which again, I already talked about when I was talking about the other one. It's a 400 megahertz as well, and this is also a 400 megahertz. So I got 3 of the 5 flavors in slot, which is great. There's a strawberry for sale for $250, but it's not near me. And it's hard because I'm trying not to, you know, spend a ton of money on these. And I'm trying, it's about a 2-hour drive too, so I'm trying to sell some of these that I don't really use, And when I say these, I don't mean iMac G3s. I mean like I have a Power Mac G4 upstairs with the graphite CRT display. So like I just listed that for sale. So if somebody buys that, then that will allow me to fund, you know, some more of these. But again, these are in great shape. Not too much to say about them. All of these work properly. Oh, you know what? I bought this June last year. Yeah, I bought it and the snow in Toronto. I just remembered. Yeah. So that was a good deal. Actually, I think I paid $150 for both. So yeah, those are pretty much, that's all I have to say about these. Coming down to here, I got a blueberry clamshell, which is in good shape, besides missing, you know, these always fall out. It's very common. But this is what I mean. The other day, I was like, okay, I have my graphite here, and I have a blueberry. Or no, sorry. I have a graphite and a tangerine. But I couldn't find the tangerine. I'm like, where is it? So sure enough, I find it, and it's underneath my sheets that I have in my closet in my old room. But when I found it, there was these 2 blueberries there as well. I completely forgot that I even had these. Like, it fully slipped my mind, and let alone having 2 of them. So that was kind of funny. I do still have some computers in this closet here. Another Bondi Blue. This one's in great shape. I bought this one with the Power Mac that I'm selling. The lady worked for, I don't know, some company. They gave her the Power Mac for at work and the iMac for at her house. She barely used the iMac, and she barely used the Power Mac, and I think the last edited file that I found on the Power Mac was like 2005. So again, really low runtime. This is the snow that I bought. I actually got mixed up. This one I bought 6 months ago. The one over there I bought with that a year ago, just over a year ago. And we're getting to almost the end of the computers that I have, but ooh, holy grail, not quite. I don't know if I ever made a video on it, but I did have a boxed key lime, but I sold that almost immediately after buying it to make a profit. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, that helps fund buying the other computers that I want, because realistically I don't need a boxed key lime, right? Like, let that go to someone who actually, you know, wants that for their major collection. Ideally, I would like to have 1 box of each. And you'll notice I don't have a boxed iMac anymore, and I can't find them, and I don't really want to pay $500 for one off eBay, so I'm just waiting. But yeah, this thing's boxed. It's in great shape. It's a graphite. So it's, but again, like I'm not getting rid of this. I'm not going to get rid of this graphite either, because you'll notice this is the later graphite. It's got the flat white, whereas this one is similar to these with the translucent kind of silver. So that's pretty nice. And yeah, that's actually pretty much it. I have an iMac G5 upstairs. Core 2, no, sorry. It might be a Core 2 Duo or a Core Duo. Like snow or like white iMac. Like similarly looking to a G5. And as far as I can remember, that's it. So, let's see, how many iMacs is that? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Plus the iBucks. And all of these work. Like, these screens work no problem. These all work no problem. This works fine. It's just that one. No, sorry, this one works fine. One in the closet has the screen flicker. This works fine, this works fine, this works fine. Screen flicker, fine. But again, like I said, I don't really use them. I turn them on every like 6 months just to make sure that they, you know, work. Other than, you know, these two, since I, you know, forgot I owned them. So if anyone wants to see like an in-depth overview, let me know on any of these. I probably will pull them all down and take them all apart and clean them up like I normally do every so often. And just in case anybody comments, I'm actually going to be setting up paper here so that there's no light that can get through. yellow the CRT supports. Yeah. So I hope that you enjoyed the update, and yeah, if you want me to make a video on anything, just let me know.